Hey, what's up, everybody? Just checking in here. Last week of the year, super exciting time, and I got a couple updates for everybody that's tuning in. I know that it's been. I trust that everybody's had a pretty good holiday. I know for me, it's there's been some restrictions, unfortunately, just due to travel circumstances. So that's why I'm here today. And I got a couple of things that I want to touch base on here, but as kind of a nice way to wrap up the year, and then we can kind of cut it off there, and hopefully the next time that I talk to everybody, it'll be some more 2022 kickoff related announcements. So kind of the big thing that we can kind of take a look at here in retrospective is the UNFI staking. So we have now been doing this for a year, and just taking a look back at the past year, for those of you that have been able to participate within the staking program that we have, the APR has been generally 40% across the entire year, which is a fantastic way for those that have UNFI to stake it and constantly earn. So it's a very cool it's a cool way for you to participate within the ecosystem. We've really been focused on people using the UNFI token to participate in governance specifically, and that's going to be our big focus for next year. So getting into next year, we are really going to be driving our messaging with our partners. Where we actually do plan to visit a lot of our partners. We're trying to get out and visit all of our blockchain partners, as well as get more involved in some conferences for next year. So both of those are going to be a big part of what we do, trying to get more awareness out there. And then as far as what we're actually building and working towards, I think that for those of you that have been around from the beginning, there's been this constant evolution of this platform. We've kind of started out on a few blockchains, a very simple AMM type of application, and now we've branched out to 10 blockchains. The goal is to continue to spread that out to more chains, and then to leverage all of this technology by a few applications, so we can launch very good concentrated efforts on very cool Web3 solutions. So getting into next year, the real focus is going to be more on building innovative solutions to Web3 problems that we see that are out there. The community that's involved tends to be a lot of new people coming in. They're experiencing new wallets and multiple blockchains, huge diversity of technology when it comes to smart contracts that are being built, DeFi, NFTs, metaverse stuff, etc. And when I look at it, it's been challenging to find parts of this that are not solely marketed for the benefit of the company, but are also marketed for the benefit of the greater community. So that's a big thing that I think will change next year. When we take a look at things like DeFi, I've mentioned this the past few times here. Impermanent loss is not something that I think is talked about as much as it should be. When I take a look at the DeFi market space itself, although it has grown, I feel like it's scaled along with the industry. So relative share of the industry maybe hasn't grown as much as it could have. And I tend to think that the reason is because there's a lot of attrition there. People come in and participate within some DeFi platforms for some assured gains. And what happens is, because the education around impermanent loss and how these work specifically isn't out there enough, people end up maybe not performing as well as they had anticipated, or potentially experiencing a impermanent loss that they're not used to. So I think those kinds of things put a lot of friction in the way of our industry, and they kind of prevent people from participating. And that's where we're focused, is building solutions that are maybe a little more transparent in terms of the benefits and drawbacks, and that are a bit more transparent in how they're successful. So making sure that we're clearly demonstrating how we're connected to our community and those that participate within our ecosystem for a mutual success. So that's kind of all coming in the new year. Some of the other things that I do want to talk about are we are going through some pretty big changes here internally. We are going through some big changes in terms of hiring. I think this is something that I've been talking about now for some time. And we're going through some big changes in how we operate as a business. For the most part, we have kind of kept things very fluid, very open, and that's been great for our success. That's been a big piece of how we've been able to scale our team and be successful in this space. But getting in next year, I think that we're going to be a lot more focused on a few very simple goals with very simple targets and KPIs. And that's not something that we've typically done publicly, but I do want to start operating as more of a public organization, because if we're going to anticipate our own growth and our own success, that's a good practice to start adopting. Getting into some of these kind of, I guess, core values, some of the things that we're going to lean into. Company culture is something that we hold pretty sacred here. It's something we've really driven home as our number one objective. Maybe not verbally, maybe we haven't verbalized that, but through our actions, we definitely have. And that's kind of this mutual shared, vision of respect, trust, and things like that. That's always been a big part of what we are and what we do. That's going to be important because this industry does change a lot, and to build a very adaptable team that can keep up with the changes of of the industry, we're going to have to have a very strong team. So with that being said, there is a question here that's come in, which is great. You guys are free to offer up questions. I'm still answering them. So will we be able to vote on referendums with their UNFI on BSC in the future, or is governance only going to be on ETH? Yeah, I think that's a good question. There are two things that are currently, two aspects of governance that are participated with UNFI, and that is referendums and staking. Both of those are super important, but that's not the whole story. We're also going to be adding to that some DAO-based decisions. We've been working on incorporating our smart contracts into a DAO so we can allow direct participation by those that do hold UNFI in specific parameters. It's a very important part of the business. It's going to be a key part of what we do next year. And so UNFI on BSC in the future, I think that it's not too hard to look at where we are and what we've been talking about and see that obviously a bridge has been a very big piece that we've been focused on for some time. We do want to have the UNFI token on multiple blockchains, as is evident through the super pairs and things like that. So with that being said, UNFI is going to continue to expand to more blockchains. And one of the reasons that we want that there is so we can have our community participate on these different blockchains. I can't say specifically how that will happen, but referendums, staking, DAO stuff, those are all key focuses. I would anticipate that more on the referendum and DAO side, those will take precedence over staking specifically on new blockchains. So definitely a cool part of the business and something we're certainly focused on. So with that all being said, guys, I don't have a lot else here to update. It's like I said, last week of the year, super exciting year for us. We had a great year. We got a lot done. We started out the year with a pretty small team, pretty much focused on how do we set this thing up to be successful in the future. That meant a lot of legal and regulatory and accounting hurdles that we had to get past. The next piece of that was kind of partners, and partners have been a very key focus of us this year and will be for next year as well. So with those two kind of pieces out of the way, and we can start to build up the team and scale the team. Next year is going to be a big push into launching some very clearly designed products and solutions to Web3 problems. So with that being said, guys, I think I'm going to cut us off here. This is a short one, and I'm looking forward to talking to everybody in the new year. So we'll leave it at that, and have a good day, everybody. Bye.